You give me love. Yeah. Chicken. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted. As you might have seen if you've seen my last video, I don't know if you saw it, but I've come to a new school, so I have had to like get used to the routine and the schedule, and I haven't done a lot of reading these past few months. I was actually stuck on this one book which I didn't really like that much. It wasn't really my thing, but because of my like OCD and how strictly I follow schedules, I had to like read it the whole way through. But I am back. I did finish that book like last month, so I have been reading another book recently that is um, the Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle, and I do really like it. I'm not that far into this book yet. I don't think it's been a long time since I started. I started it just before our exam started, so then during the exams I wasn't really able to read it, but I'm back. But today we had library at my school, and I decided to get this one book because I really wanted to get it for a long time, but then everybody kept on taking it, everybody kept on issuing it from the library, and then finally today I went to the library and I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna take it. So it is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Can you see it? Okay. Yeah, well, this one, I've read the first book. I read it in 8th grade. That is Good Girls Get to Murder. And As Good as Dead, wait, no, sorry. Good Girl, Bad Blood. The second book, I read it in, no, so the first book I read it in 9th grade. That was in 2023. I think the end of 2023. And the second book I read it last year in 10th grade. I think I remember this very well, in August or September, something like that. It was like in the middle of the year, and then this one I'm reading it now in 11th grade. So yeah, this will finish off the series. There's also one more novella. I know it's called like Killjoy. It's a short book. It's a novella about like it's set in the same series, but a lot of people just consider this series done after this one. That one is a prequel. I personally will read it as well, but for now I'm gonna read this one. I already did read quite a bit. I read a bit like earlier, and then today as well in the library, and I think I got up to page 37. That is chapter 5. I'm like right here. I don't think these are really spoilers, so yeah. And plus the text is probably like backwards anyways, because I'm recording. So yeah, anyways, I also do really want to film a bookshelf tour and post it soon, because I did get a tripod for my birthday. My birthday was like a couple weeks ago, and so I got a tripod, and I would love to post like a bookshelf tour so I can finally like actually record properly again. And the tripod also came with a ring light, so the lighting will be fine. So right now I'm just holding it, the phone in my hands, but yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so I'm just gonna go ahead and read As Good as Dead. I don't want to like finish it before this day, or there's nothing like that. I'm just gonna like read it and see when it ends. I don't really know. Yeah, but I gonna use my bookmark right here. Everything I have is pink. I don't know why. As you can see, my room is literally pink. My dress is like a lavenderish, but you know, it counts. So today is Friday. That means I'm gonna be making noodles today. It's a good day. So until then, that'll be like dinner though. So until then, I do want to read this. I also do want to read Robin Hood, because I'm not gonna lie, I did love that book, because at that time, like when I started reading it, I was really craving some historical fiction, and now I really love the idea of like this like charming outlaw and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I have like literally been thinking of like a female version of Robin Hood. It would eat so good. Like it would be so cool. That's a dog barking in the background. Just ignore it. It's my neighbor's dog. It always does this when I'm recording. But yeah. Well, I'm just gonna read it, and I'll update it like tomorrow or the day after. Then I've read a little bit more. But yeah. Bye bye. And that's it. Okay guys, it's the next day, and I'm gonna be honest, I bet you thought that I was gonna say, I didn't read yesterday. I said I promised I was gonna read, but I didn't read like every other day. No, I actually read, and I don't know how I managed to do it, but I actually read for a straight hour. Like I started at 6:57, if I'm being right. And actually, I did. I told you that I read till page 37, but I was wrong. I actually stopped at page 42, because the period ended when I was in the middle of a chapter. It was crazy, but I stopped at page 42, which was still the fifth chapter. I was right. So yeah, and then I actually kind of just like stopped, and when I got home at 6:57, I started reading. Okay, and I only stopped at like just before 8 o'clock. So I started just before 7, stopped just before 8, because then I went and cooked noodles and then I ate it. It was great. But let me tell you, I sat and like read for an hour straight. It hasn't happened for a while now, let me tell you. And I usually do get tired if I read up for a long time. But also another great thing is I feel like my reading speed has definitely increased. I used to read like 1 page per minute or so, but like that's kind of average. I think maybe a little bit faster than average. I don't know, because like it depends on the books you read as well, what the content is, how big the text is, how big the book is, like the size of the book. It all depends. Um, so yeah, if you're like reading a nonfiction, obviously your pace would be slower. But if you're reading like maybe a romance book, maybe it will be faster, and the text as well, bigger or smaller, depends. So, anyways, that was my like kind of average speed, and that means 6:57 to 7:57, I would have read 60 pages. But I actually read 60 pages way before that time. It was like 7:40 or something. I was done, and I was like, oh my god, I'm reading faster. Okay, but yeah, I was glad, and I stopped at page 106, which is a bit above 60 pages, and I'm at chapter 12. Chapter 12 was a long chapter. It ends at page 120, so I decided, okay, I'll read it tomorrow. Also, I stopped reading, like, I didn't read before bed because I wanted to read maybe one more chapter, and then also a chapter of Robin Hood, but I didn't do that because I fell asleep and I was kind of lazy because, like, when I eat noodles, you know how I get. So but the thing is that the book is really good, as you could tell, because I couldn't stop reading. And I texted my friend who has already read this book, and she was like, "Oh my god, like don't, because like you're not gonna stop. You're not gonna be able to stop reading." So I'm like, am I gonna be hooked? Because I have time. My exams just ended. I don't really have much work, so I have today, I have tomorrow, so I can still read. So I think that's fine. I think I have time, so I can read this definitely. And today I do plan to study a little bit, but not that much. I want to read like right now. Oh yeah, at night I don't think I'm gonna read because first of all I might get carried away because the chapters might end in cliffhangers. I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? So I keep on reading and then I don't get sleep. And the other thing is that I tend to get scared definitely if I'm reading murder mysteries. I get scared, not about thrillers or um, actual horror books. I only read one horror that was Dracula, and I didn't really get scared by that. But this one, I don't know, because like right now I'm not scared. It's not at the really scary part. It does start off pretty strong already, unlike the other books. But um, actually, yeah, the other books too. They just kind of like skip right into the mystery. Here, Pip is the one being hunted, so who's gonna look for you when you're the one who disappears, right? Yeah. And I'm not gonna give you any spoilers, even though these are not really spoilers, like the first 100 pages. But yeah, I think I'm gonna read right now a little bit. Then I'll have to study. I'll have to eat breakfast, all that stuff. So yeah, bye. I'll update you maybe today in the evening, or maybe tomorrow. I'll tell you what I read today. But yeah, bye. I'm definitely reading today. Definitely, I have to. Okay. Page 250 something, 240 something. I just want to say I read a lot this morning. I read for like 2 hours straight. I read like 150 pages. Not 2 hours straight, but I think I read like 1 hour, something like that. All I want to say is Pip is dumb. She should have seen this coming, and it was very obvious. I feel like it's meant to be that way because, like, as the audience, this is like too much. As you can see, my hair is like crazy. I need to go like wash my hair and like take a shower right now. But I just wanted to update. After I shower, I do want to read more. I did study a little bit as well, and I read this is my hair oil. I'm gonna oil my hair and then wash it. So, yeah. So about the book, I feel like it's crazy right now. And I studied and I read a lot, so I feel like today's a pretty productive day for me. I also did some chores, so it's good. It's looking good. I even still had a lot of time to watch YouTube and then play games. I ate something really good, so yeah, today was a great day. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Today was a great like day in. You know what I mean? Like those are usually boring. Here's a look at my nails before I chop them off, before like someone finds out at school. I hope no one does though. But yeah, these are natural, by the way. It's not acrylics or anything. Oh, this one is so wild. Like, it just looks asymmetrical as hell, but yeah, flawless. Okay. Anyways, so that's the update. I can't believe she's this dumb. I have already been spoiled of the ending, so I know what's gonna happen. But I stopped at the biggest cliffhanger ever. I know y'all are probably like, you stopped? I updated my friend who already read this. Again, I updated her, and she was like, no way you stopped. She's like the biggest book nerd ever. But yeah, I will read later on. I hope I get some sleep, not both because I'm scared, like of the, because murder mysteries scare me, as I said. So both because I'm scared I won't be able to sleep because of like being terrified, and also because I might not be able to sleep because I stay up finishing the book. I mean, that's how the first book happened. Like for the ending, I stayed up to like 12. But yeah, bye. Yo, I just woke up, as you can tell by my hair, and I just straight up went and decided to read. I read about like 50 pages in the morning, and now I'm at page 294. I finished part 1. Now I have part 2, and part 1, you know how it ends if you read the book. If you haven't read the book, then read it right now. Yeah, so I don't know, this is like super addictive and gripping, but a huge thing has just happened. So I don't know what the rest, I actually do know what the rest of it will be about because I've already been spoiled, the ending. Not the ending, but like basically what happens. I just got a summary of it in a sentence. I would say it to you, but it will be a huge spoiler. And I don't really like doing spoilers in my videos, so yeah. Well, this thing, my hair looks crazy. Okay, yeah, but anyways, you guys are gonna have to cope with it because I haven't brushed my teeth, I didn't wash my face, I just got up and I just read a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I really do think that what happened in part 1 was justified. It had to happen. But now I have like, I don't know, maybe 200 something pages left, and I don't think I'll finish it today. I want to, I really want to. I think I might actually, I don't know. I mean, I read 150 yesterday, so I could actually, because the first day I read 50 pages, and the second day I read, sorry, first day I read 100. The second day I read like 150. That was yesterday. So I think it's possible I could finish this book today. I also don't really have much work. I do have something to study for school, but it's just a little bit, and then after that I think I don't really want to study much more apart from that for today. So yeah, bye. I don't know if I'm gonna read more right now, but I will definitely read more today. Yeah. Y'all, I am so glad for what I'm about to say. I finished the book. Today is the 27th. Oh, wait, no. 20. Let me check. Oh, yeah, it's the 27th, and that means it's Monday. I finished the book yesterday night. That is Sunday. I finished it before it was 12. It was like 11:30 maybe when I finished it, and I was like, I just stayed up, not all night obviously. I stayed up until I finished it. I was sure I was not gonna sleep if like unless I finished it. So yesterday, just for a quick recap, I have the book still with me right here. I can only return it this Friday for when I have library. And the problem is that on Friday we have retreat or something at school, so I don't think we'll have library. So that means I can't return this and take another book. But that also means I will be reading Robin Hood. Well, I think on Friday was when I started reading As Good as Dead, and that day I did read a chapter of Robin Hood before I went to bed to take away the scare from As Good as Dead because it was really scary in the beginning. Not beginning, like the mid portion. But then, well, I was at page 2, let me tell you right now, 246. Okay, that was before she was, oh, I'm not gonna say it. Okay, that was about to spoil so bad. I was at page 246, and then I basically read in the morning all the way for like an hour or so until I finished that, like that whole part. There's a part 1 and part 2, so until I finished part 1 and got to part 2. And that was page 296 or 295 or something. So I read for probably not an hour, actually, a bit under that, but I did read quite a bit in the morning as soon as I woke up. I think I already updated about that. Okay, later on, I read till 3:30. That was before lunch or just after lunch. Around that time, I read till page 3:30, and then, well, I actually kept on going, and I think I got all the way till page 405. I think in the evening, I think. Okay, so, oh yeah, I think that was the evening, definitely for sure. And then I read for about an hour. No, no, no. I think that was after lunch, and then in the evening I read for another hour till 4:65. I remember this very clearly. Okay, it was still 4:65, and that was when things really started picking up. From 4:65 to 5:50, that's how long this book is. The rest of the 100 pages I binged in the night. It took me about like 1.5 hours to read that. I started around just before 9 o'clock, I think, maybe 8:45, maybe after 8:30. I started, yeah, it was just before 9. I started, and then it finished. I finished it off by 11:30. In the middle, I had to stop for about like 15 minutes to brush my teeth, wash my face, do my night routine. And well, I went back, and I was like, yeah, I'm still reading this, obviously. So I finished it, and all I have to say is the ending was kind of not satisfactory. Like the ending as a whole, great, but like the last page and stuff, I expected more. But the ending as a whole was very great, was very satisfactory. It ties up all the loose ends from the other two books, because you might have a lot of questions that you're like, this feels like a discrepancy, like this hasn't been answered yet. What is happening? Well, go read the other two books, even if you don't buy them. Like, get them from someone or read them online. You have like the flipping books online, or I'm pretty sure you can find a free PDF anywhere, or audiobooks. You can read it for free online as well, or just go to a library and borrow it or something. Like, read this thing, okay? This is very good because, as I said, I'd read the first two. I got spoiled for this one from the very beginning, but it was still worth it because, as you can see, I still stayed up all night. I think after the evening, like as I told you, when I got to page 465, I was like, I already know the outcome. Should I really even keep on reading? But as I kept on reading, it was like getting better. There were actually a little, like, not twists, I would say, but things were like keeping you on your toes. So and then I'd say like the last maybe two chapters or so were kind of a drag. It was not really thrilling anymore, or it was kind of like in every other book. It's like it shows what happens to the character, like their lives after the thing is resolved. So that was what was going on. I felt like that was kind of a drag, but the ending was really nice, like the very last part. Again, as I said, I would like to see it extended a little bit more because what was it that we got? We didn't really get much. If you've read it, then you know what I'm talking about. But the great part is that this has officially brought me back into reading, and I can also safely say that I will definitely be reading Robin Hood tonight. This is not a scary book at all, so this is great to take the scare away from me. I had to like wake up after I finished the book to pee, and I was like so scared. Well, actually, I was not. I was not scared really. That's the thing. Like everything was over. Like I don't really know how to explain it without spoiling, but this book is quite different from the others, and I feel like it's like kind of more scary, and you just become like desensitized, if you know what I mean. So yeah, well, I really enjoyed it though, and I just want to say definitely give it a try. Even if you've been spoiled, keep on going. If you've been spoiled for the third book, also definitely read the second one if you haven't yet, because even if you've been spoiled for the third book, there's no like spoilers of it in the second book. Second book's an entirely different thing. All three of these books are entirely different things, but yeah. Well, the third book, it also gives a lot of insight into other characters that we've already met. New things, some of the good characters you started to hate, some of the bad ones you started like. There was a lot going on, and we keep revisiting the previous cases. It all keeps coming back in full circle every single time, and I kept getting the deja vus whenever Pip did. It was so good, but also the mystery can be quite too obvious. Because, as I said, it's like half of the book is like a mystery, and the other half is kind of just a thriller. So the first half you might be able to figure out the mystery. It's kind of obvious and in your face. I feel like that is how it's supposed to be. The thriller part though, it's worth it. Even if you're not a thriller girly, I'm more of a mystery person than a thriller. I don't really read thrillers, but you know Well, I was fine with it. So all I gotta say is that give it a try. I don't think you'll regret it. But then again, people have read it and not really enjoyed it. So this is my personal opinion. I loved it. It's like brought me back to reading after months. I think the last time I read a book, well, I did read one this month, but I think before that was like in July or August or something. So it's been a while. It's been a couple months. So I need to get back. And this book did exactly that. So, yes, bye. And thank you to Ask Good as Dead. Thank you to Holly Jackson. I think you're amazing. I have other books of yours that I want to read. Holly Jackson is not watching this, but I'm still saying this anyways. Okay, well, yeah, I do want to read Killjoy, the prequel, and it's like kind of a mystery that you can solve along with Pip. I think that would be dope. I want to create my own murder board and pin my suspect. I saw some people doing that on the subreddit for Goodwill Said Murder, but yeah, love to do that. Bye though. See you.